In this tutorial, we're going to look at using VRGS's inbuilt movie maker. I've already loaded my project and I've put some scale bars into the view to give us an idea of the size of the thing that we're looking at. The scale bars here are 5 meters. To create a movie, we go to Interpretations and Flight Path. Right click, New, and that generates a new flight path. We can then select the flight path and go to Make Active. That will bring up a new ribbon with some additional tools. Now, the way this works is that we first of all set a view, and then we sequentially work our way round the model, adding in waypoints or viewpoints where we want the camera to travel past. So I'll add in a few more of these. So that's viewpoints in place. We can then create a path based on those viewpoints. So I'll click Create Open Path here. I then have to go to the flight path in the Interpretation tab and double click on Show Cameras. And we can now see essentially what will be each frame in the movie. We can test that, go to the start position, and then we can play forwards through our movie, and it'll go very quickly. So that's the flight path that we're going to use. If we want to render this to a movie, we need to set the duration for that movie. So I'm going to right click on the flight path and go to set duration, and here I'm going to say I want it to be 60 seconds. And I then do create open path, and that allows you to put in more frames, so the entire flight path will take up a 60-second movie, assuming a 30 frame per second frame rate. When we've got our flight path, you can see that it changes angle quite steeply, quite rapidly. So let's just hide the viewpoints, and we can play, and we get a feel for what the movie is going to look like. Now playing at a more realistic frame rate. You see, as it comes to each camera position, it changes direction quite rapidly. So I'm just going to press Escape to stop that and redisplay my flight path. I'm going to use Unlock All, and that will unlock the control points, and then press Smooth, and this will smooth the flight path. If we look closely at this position here, as I'm pressing Smooth, you should just about be able to see that there is some change in the positions of the cameras. It's smoothing the corner out. We can make this smoothing more effective by increasing the number of iterations. So I'm going to smooth. So that's running the smoothing filter 100 iterations at a time. You see it's really smoothing out the flight path. So there's our flight path ready to go. To record this to a movie, we switch off the flight path because we don't want that appearing in the movie itself. We'll click Go to Start and then Record Movie. We can just add here the name. And we set the size of the movie that we want. And I'm going to use an HD format. Let's go OK. And then we can press play. And as well as rendering to the screen, this will render to the movie file as well. This will take a while to render. Now the movie has rendered or completed rendering, and I just clicked the record movie button again, and that stopped the rendering and recording of the movie. As I was watching it, I realized that some of the viewpoints that I put in perhaps weren't as good as they could have been. So we can have a look at our control points, and we'll say, let's have a look at this one here, which is viewpoint 3. If I right click on it in the interpretation tab and go to that will take me to that viewpoint. I can now navigate to where I think I want the viewpoint to actually be. Viewpoint 3, right click and go update position. Now you'll see the viewpoint has now been moved to its new location. So let's do a few more. Viewpoint 4, happy with. Viewpoint 5, that's alright. Viewpoint 6, I want to make that a bit more like that, so let's do update position. We can go and carry on and decide if we want to update any others. And then once I've gone to viewpoint 16, I decided at the end of the movie I perhaps want to have a zoom back out to show the overall model from above, so we can add that in as well. And to do that, we just do add view. If we click on the individual viewpoints, it'll tell us how many frames there are from the current viewpoint to the next one based on the time that we use to define the length of the flight path or the length of the movie. So from here, from 16 to 17, at the moment there's only 10 frames, so I'm going to increase that to 50, and that will speed up that return to this overall viewpoint. So let's just make sure we've got a good final view of the data. Let's do update position. So 16 to 17 we've got 50 frames, and now we can do the same process again. Create open path. You see the path has changed based on our new camera positions. Unlock all, and then run the smooth a few times until we're happy with the path that we've got. So I'm going to switch that off and then go to record movie again. I'm going to name this one Flamborough version 2. Again, high definition, and go to start and play. And again, this movie is now rendering to a movie file. I would just have to leave this to render for a while.